The Japanese Pokemon card market is going crazy. The prices of booster boxes has gone up like mad recently, and boxes are selling out instantly, and I haven't really seen the Japanese market going this crazy before in terms of booster boxes. Everything seems to be up except for a couple. In this video, we're going to cover everything from the current prices of booster boxes to what's actually causing this to happen to what the best next steps are that you can do in order to actually make sure that you don't get eaten alive by this market. So if we look at a set like Terrestrial Festival, which was released on the 6th of December, you can see that the price is just steadily going up. And now we're actually at about $111 per box, which is crazy. Before I was getting boxes for about 70 or 80 euros from my supplier, and now the price is almost at 100 euros, and that's from a Japanese supplier, not TCG player. We see a similar kind of pattern with Super Electric Breaker, which is becoming super popular, right? When it first came out, you're looking at about $53, keeps rising up, and then all of a sudden, around January, it just shoots up to $67, back up again to $70, and now it's at about $80 for a single box. And these prices aren't 100% accurate on this graph. You can see that the most recent sale was at $93, which is insane for this box, considering a few months ago, I ended up buying this box for like $50 or 50 euros, which is actually crazy, right? Paradise Dragona is not as popular as Terrestrial Festival or Super Electric Breaker, but you can see the same kind of pattern. The price is just going up and up and up. And the last example here is 151. Now this set is literally going crazy right now. Now the question you might be asking yourself is, well, what's causing the prices to go so crazy? And it's actually a bunch of factors. The first one is actually just the increased popularity to do with Pokemon. Now, when there's always like a boom of people that come into a hobby or come into any market, you see the prices go up, right? Because people want to take a piece of that pie. The same thing happened with crypto. The same thing happened with NFTs. The same thing happened with Pokemon before. As soon as there's a surge and people can sniff that there's some money in a market, they'll just jump in and start buying things up, which obviously drives up the prices of cards. Another thing that's also affecting the Pokemon market quite a lot is the scarcity in the international market. So at the moment, it's really hard to get Pokemon cards in places like the US, the UK. They'll sell out instantly, and the Pokemon company is not printing enough. And there's not enough product out in the wild that people can just go to their local shop and actually get stuff for MSRP. If we look at the Prismatic Evolutions ETB, they're actually going for about $130 to $150, which is crazy. This thing retails, I think, in the UK for like £55 or £50, something like that. In the US, I'm not sure. I think it's about the same, $49.99. And this thing is going for 3 times the money. The set is so popular and so expensive that people want to get some, but they can't just go to the shop and buy it because scalpers have already bought everything up. It means that the demand is really high and the supply is really low. Now, when people can't buy English Pokemon cards, what are they going to do? They're going to go to the next best market, which is the Japanese one. When people start doing the same thing with the Japanese ones, the Japanese seller will just raise the prices because they know that the people in the international markets are willing to pay it. And that brings me on to my next point, which is actually the Japanese sellers themselves. Now, booster boxes tend to go for about 5,500 yen in Japan, which is about $30-something, $35 to $40, let's say. And Japanese sellers are buying up so much product and selling it to people in the international markets for double, triple. People are going to sell things for as much as people are willing to pay for it. And right now, so many people are buying Japanese cards that the prices are just getting driven up like crazy, and people are willing to pay whatever up until a certain point, right? A lot of the Japanese sellers are just buying boxes in bulk and then reselling it to people. So personally, I run a Japanese Pokemon card business. Visit our website, sakuracollectibles.com, if you're in Europe and want to buy Japanese Pokemon cards, by the way. But that's besides the point. We buy Japanese Pokemon cards from Japanese suppliers and then resell them. Now, the Japanese suppliers are probably making 50, 60, 70, 80, however much percent on booster boxes because they buy them in bulk for pretty much retail price and then resell it into the international markets. If you want to buy Japanese Pokemon cards for close to retail, then the only option you have is to either live in Japan or buy insane amounts of cards. I'm talking hundreds of boxes because they'll give you a discount. But even then, they're still making a profit. Now, when you mix that with what's happening in the international market and the rising popularity of Pokemon, it just leads to prices going insane, right? So how do you protect yourself in a market like this? Do you buy now or do you wait? Personally, I think that it's better to just wait a bit. Right now, we're in a point where everyone is trying to make money on Pokemon. so many people are coming in and scalping and selling things for crazy prices because people are willing to buy. So that should be your time to wait, especially when it comes to the popular Japanese booster boxes. Does that mean that every single Japanese booster box is a bad investment? No, there are still some booster boxes that are actually at a pretty good price that have some pretty decent cards. Sets such as Mask of Change are currently going for about 5,800 yen, which is just a little bit over retail. And there are actually some decent cards in here. I mean, you've got a couple of Kieran cards, you've got the Chansey card. It's not the most popular set by any means, but there are some cards in this that are actually pretty nice. There are some nice art rares. There's a Sunflora, and it wouldn't actually be a bad time to invest in some of these, especially considering that these are quite close to retail. You've also got another set like Future Flash, which has this Altaria alternate art. You've got a couple of alternate arts. There are a few trainers. It's not the most popular set, but you've also got that Steelix, Vanillish, Porygon Z. There are some nice cards in this set. Crimson Haze is also not a bad set to invest in. It's a little bit more expensive at about 7,000 euros, which is maybe like $45. Crimson Haze has the Greninja card, it has the Eevee card, Probopass. There's a lot of really nice art rares and secret art rares in Crimson Haze. So if you guys want to buy Japanese boxes, these are the sets that you guys should be investing in. Crimson Haze, Mask of Change, Raging Surf, Ancient Roar, Future Flash. These are the sets that you guys should be investing in because they're still relatively close to retail price. You can get them for anywhere from like $35 or 35 euros all the way up to like 45 euros, which is actually pretty decent for a booster box. And when people realize that there's actually decent cards in these sets, they're going to start buying these ones up as well because they'll realize that they can't afford Super Electric Breaker or Terrestrial Festival, and they're going to start investing in these kinds of cards. So it's better to get involved and buy these booster boxes now before they become too expensive. So I'm going to be going to Japan next week, and hopefully I'll be able to pick up the boxes for even cheaper than my supplier is selling it to me for. So I'll be able to give you guys a good deal on my website, sakuracollectibles.com. But for now, what should you guys be doing? I think you guys should be waiting, especially on the really popular boxes, because they're going to reprint Terrestrial Festival. They're going to keep printing Super Electric Breaker, and the Pokemon wave is going to crash eventually. The prices will come down. I'm not sure exactly when, but the prices will come down. So if you want to buy Terrestrial Festival, if you want to buy Super Electric Breaker, if you want to buy, maybe 151 will keep going up. Hopefully it comes back down, but since they're not doing any more reprints, I think the price of 151 will keep going up. So that ship has probably sailed. If you want to buy 151, my advice would be to buy the single cards. There is some good news though. The newest set, such as Battle Partners, is probably a good time to buy. If you guys want to open Battle Partners booster boxes and you want to look for some cards when it comes to Battle Partners, now is actually not a bad time to buy Battle Partners. What you'll usually find that happens is, and you're seeing this right now, Heatwave Arena, the pre-order price for Heatwave Arena is about $130 to $150 per box for Heatwave Arena from my supplier. Now, some people will obviously have a supplier that's cheaper, but $130 to $150 per box is insane. If you want to buy Heatwave Arena when that comes out, I would just wait like a week or 2 weeks, or even like wait a month, and then you'll be able to pick up Heatwave Arena for like $60, $70, $80. The same thing has happened with Battle Partners. When Battle Partners first came out, the pre-order prices were like $120, $130. And now you can buy Battle Partners even in Europe for like 80 euros or like 75 euros, you know? It's actually not that expensive. And if you live in America, it's even cheaper. So if you do want to buy Heatwave Arena, my suggestion is to wait, guys. Wait a few weeks after Heatwave Arena comes out. Even on my store, I'm not offering pre-orders for Heatwave Arena because it's just too expensive. The whole point of me starting my online store was to make buying Pokemon cards in Europe somewhat cheap and accessible for people. If I charge people 130 euros or more, 150, 160 euros for Heatwave Arena, it's just going against that. So I'm going to personally wait a few weeks after Heatwave Arena comes out in order to actually list them on my website so that people can have a somewhat decent price for them. I will be buying some to open up on the channel for content purposes, obviously, because I want to show you guys what's in the set. But I would hold off on paying crazy prices for Heatwave Arena or any kind of Japanese products right now. I think right now in this market, patience is probably your best friend. Just wait, see if you can find good deals, find sellers that are actually reputable and aren't going to rip you off. That's probably the best thing that you can do. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you head to my website, sakuracollectibles.com. I'm going to be going to Japan next week, and I will be bringing back some awesome stuff. I'll be listing stuff on the website, so expect a big restock when we get back. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.